I just want to go over a few things on engine noises. If you've done regular maintenance on your bike, and there are some engine noises that are considered different. So you've got like a tick, which is usually associated with a lifter, or a slap, which can be a piston slap, have a slight knock under a certain engine load, or primary chain slapping, which is fairly easy to check. Pull the inspection cover off, just feel the chain, roll the engine over a couple of times, check it in 3 or 4 different spots and see how tight it is or how loose. Typically what I find on primary cover or primary chains is that they're either somebody's been in there adjusting them and they're completely too tight. They should be about 5/16 to 3/8 of an inch on the loose side. They'll pull them in there. Sometimes the guy will have them adjusted banjo tight, and if they're really tight, you end up with the clutch dragging, or you have a slight whine. Now, as these things get hotter, the chain tightens up, so you have to realize that you could adjust it. I've seen guys say, well, it's got, they adjust them cold and it's got a 1/4 inch of play in it. Well, as soon as it get hot, it ain't gonna have nothing. So you're adjust your chain right. As far as ticks go, lately I guess the biggest thing is guys have been checking the rocker arm end play and they swear that's the tick. And it could be. Chances are it's not. That's a noise that doesn't come on all of a sudden like. If you've had the bike for any amount of time and it all of a sudden starts making noise, it ain't the rocker arms in play. It just isn't. Or, the thing about somebody trying to sell you something so you can lock the rocker arm shaft into position. Well, if you could swear that's the noise and you've done it and the noise went away, well, I guess you solved the problem, but 9 times out of 10, it ain't going to do shit. Really, the reason for this is I had somebody that had an engine noise, and I couldn't really hear from the video that sounded a lot more serious than a lifter. From what I could hear, I would suspect rod knock, like front rod bearings are usually what goes out on Sportsters, or pinion bearings, or in some instances sprocket bearings. Very rare on sprocket bearings unless they were overly tight. And going back to that, if you tighten up your primary chain too tight, you're actually stressing the transmission bearings and the sprocket bearings on the crank because it's tight. You're actually pulling them together when it gets tight. You're side loading the bearings. So make sure your primary chain's adjusted right. Going back to that, an easy way to check for a rod bearing is pull the filter off and look right around the rim of the filter. Let me grab that filter. Okay, so you're going to pull your oil filter off and look right around the rim of it, like right in here. And if you see little shiny shavings of metal, they'll look like they're almost perfectly square little shavings. I don't have any here because I don't have anything with rod bearings out. But your oil is going to go in the filter through these holes here. That's what's coming out of the pump, goes through here, gets pushed through the filter, and what the center hole here is what actually flows into the engine. Meaning that you've got metal throughout your entire oil system. It's in the oil tank, it's in the pump, it's everywhere. So you do a rebuild, you're going to have to flush everything out. But that's it for the filter. Easy way to check now a rod bearing is actually going to make a clunk, and usually you can do it. You can hear it at idle. If you got a really low idle, you hear it clunk, 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 clunk. If it's just slight, just started, you can put the bike in, get it warm, put it in 5th gear, and hold the clutch in. You got it in 5th gear. Hold the rear, push full in the rear brake. And let out slightly on the clutch until it starts dragging a little bit. And that's when you'll start hearing it if it really starts clunking. you know, you've got a bad rod bearing in there. Usually front, but it could be the rear, but usually the front. Now that being said, that metal could also be from the pinion bearings. It could be from the bearing itself, or the inner race, or the outer race. The way these things are set up, that inner race is pressed onto the crank and then ground flat again, because it's gonna move. So if you replace the race on there, you're gonna have it ground. Take it to a machine shop and they can grind it so it's the right surface finish and right dimensions. But it could be any of those. But you know, just put it in 5th gear, load the engine a little bit. Now, as far as rod bearings go, the big ends do stretch on the rod bearings, on the rods. Typically what they do is when they stretch, if you think of it like this, it's a perfectly round hole, it stretches, it gets egg-shaped, so it gets tighter on the sides. So this way, up and down, it'll have more play, but on the sides it actually tightens up, and that's what locks the bearings. At that point, you're looking at a rod set, basically. Depending on how bad it is, usually you need at least a crank pin and a rod set and new bearings. And in some instances, you can use a horizontal hone, like a Sonnen precision hone, to resize the rod bearing, to resize the rods to fit new bearings, and you're putting new bearings in regardless, crank pin, bearings, and whether you can get the rod straightened or not, you know, that's up to you. Most places, it's hard to find somebody who does that work anymore, really. I did it for years. To do it precisely, you know, you need to measure the rods, and they'll be, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 thousandths out around, whatever. And they'll have to be straightened. And you can replace those races in the rods. Rod bearing races are replaceable. But most people want new rods because it's cheaper like that. It's cheaper to buy a rod set than pay somebody to do it and have it done correctly. I don't have a crank apart on anything right now, but if I do in the future, I'll do a demonstrate. I don't have a rod hone anymore, but at least I can do a demonstration on replacing a rod set in the future if I need to. I probably will on son's drag bike there. That thing's got 70,000 miles on it, or being converted into a drag bike. So we'll see how it goes on that. The rods feel good as far as play, not having too much play, and there's no weird metal in the oil or oil filter. But you know, you can never tell. It does have 70,000 miles on it, and we don't know how this bike was treated before we got it. So there is that. So just go over stuff. I mean, obvious stuff, you know. I had one, I know I'm just running on here. I had one where I was working on a weekend and it was a Sunday, and a guy dropped the bike off at, you know, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever it is, closing time basically. He got there just in time before I closed the doors. And brings it in, and I go to ride the bike in. I rode it around the parking lot, and yeah, it's making a little noise. But if you're riding around, it was the kickstand hitting the frame. So you drive around, go ting, 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 clunk. It was really like clunk, where you hit a little bump and the kickstand to go and smack the frame. It's missing the kickstand bumper there. Now I wrote that down at the bottom of the work order. Check, inspect kickstand bumper, because I wasn't going to be there on Monday or Tuesday at work. So I go into work, and one of the mechanics has it on the lift, and he's got the top end completely torn down, and he's like, he doesn't know. He's like, man, can you check these rod bearings on this thing? I said, did you actually read the work order where it said check the kickstand bumper? He's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I went and looked, there's no kickstand bumper on there. He never put one on it. He didn't even check it. So At that point, there's nothing wrong with the rods or the crank on that thing. I told him, put the damn thing back together. There's nothing wrong with it. It was the kickstand bumper. The kickstand was sitting in the frame, and he didn't believe me. So I made him put it back together. Takes it out and rides it, and he's like, yeah, it's got an engine noise. I was like, did you put the kickstand bumper on there? No. Just go grab a kickstand bumper and put it on there. So he puts one on there and goes rides it, and he's like, man, I think it was the kickstand bumper. So they're filling the work order, and they want to charge this guy all this kind of money for tearing his engine down, gasket kit, and all this stuff. And I was like, you can't charge the guy for that stuff. You screwed up on the diagnosis when it said right there in front of you, check the kickstand bumper. So regardless of that, you should go over, you should be going over your bike anyway, every little thing, as far as external stuff that can be making noise. And sometimes you do have engine noises. You could have bad tappet rollers, bad pinion bearings, bad sprocket bearings, primary chain slapping up against the case there. And sometimes what I'll do when I'm riding is I'll ride the bike up to speed and I'll pull the clutch in and just turn the engine off and let it coast and listen for noises there while it's coasting with no engine on. If you hear a noise when you're coasting down the road with the clutch pulled in, it ain't nothing to do with the motor. Had them too where I had a guy, this goes back to maintenance on checking bolt tightness, where guy would had a little bit of noise riding down the road he's complaining about, and it would do it every once in a while, and then it would stop doing it. And it ended up looking the bike over. I didn't even ride it, I just looked it over, and pulley bolts were out and hitting the swing arm really. One of them was, and it bore the head of the bolt off, and it had broken another one where they were out that far. I know I keep harping on that, but I've seen enough of them get screwed up, and then the customer's blaming Harley Davidson, and he should be blaming himself, because he's one of them guys that does his own service and never checks bolts out. He's just one of them guys that all I need to do is change the oil. Yeah, well, you need to do more than that, man. Anyway, that's it for this. I'm just ranting now, so check those things over. Load if you suspect you have a rod bearing, put a little load on the engine there. You don't even have to ride it, just start it up, put it in fifth gear, hold the rear brake, and let the clutch out slightly till it starts dragging. If you start hearing a clunk, you need to investigate further. Pull the filter off and look for little square shavings. They'll be thin. They might only be 3, 4, 5 thousandths thick, and they'll be like little squares, probably less than 50 thousandths in size. Now, I have to remember all that crap's going through in your oil tank and through your oil pump, so you definitely need to check those out when you do a teardown, or whoever does a teardown. And chances are at that point, you pull the front cylinder off, and the front piston's going to be scored, and the back one's probably scored too from having little shavings of metal up against it. So you're looking probably overbore, or at least 5 thousandths oversized pistons, maybe 10, depending on who's doing it. I like to go 5 over for the first. If it's a stock bore, you can go 5 thousandths oversized, and it usually cleans stuff up enough. Allows you to get the cylinder straight and any marks out of it. If it doesn't get the marks out of it, then you'll have to go 10, but that's up to you or whoever's doing the work. Just things to look for. But as far as rocker arm, nah, almost never. I've done enough of them that even if your rocker arm bushings have a little bit of wear to it, it ain't gonna tick. It ain't gonna make that kind of noise. It's gonna tick a little bit maybe, but not really. So just check out everything else before you get tearing into an engine, and assuming that, because you watch the video and you're assuming that, oh, the rocker arm end plate has got to be it. Well, no, you know, if, like I said, if you've had the bike for 5 years and it never made this noise before, you know, rocker arm end plate doesn't just all of a sudden come into plain view there. It just doesn't. Anyway, that's enough. You guys take care. Have a great day. Just a couple of thoughts on engine noises there. I was watching somebody else's video and got to me thinking about the diagnostic process. And that's it. Everybody take care. If you like my content, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And everybody have a great day.